What's going on, YouTube? Claykeysult back again with another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video, and in today's video I'm going to talk about this ranking dungeon event. It took me a while to get to this point. I've been dealing with some family matters, some family illness, but I finally got on here and got me a good ranking. I just did it this morning. There is a little bit of a bug going on with the dungeon, and Square Enix is aware of it. If I take you guys over to notifications here, you can read all about it in the, let's see where it's at here. They've released the events. The trance abilities here, read all about it here. They say it's not going to get you banned if you use it. They're not changing it. And it makes sense because if they would change it, the people that took advantage of it knowingly or unknowingly wouldn't be able to get in here and get the same score as those people. And it would just be a mess. So they just let it be. So right now I'm at level 45. We check it out. I would like to be in the top 100 only because I could achieve. I didn't even think I could achieve it. But I got there to get a little bit extra of these materials and maybe this nice little banner here. These materia buffers. This is just going to be RNG on making materia. It makes them have higher stats or more substats and a higher level. But the gacha tickets, you really only need to be, in the top 1,000 to get the full on amount of gacha tickets you can get. So this hopefully can help some of you guys out there. I'm going to go over the team, and then we're going to go through an actual run, and there's a little bit of RNG with it sometimes, depending on when Reno attacks or whatever. But we're going to do our best to show it off. First up on the team, I'm going to have Aerith. And Aerith is going to be my debuffer, buffer. She can't really buff, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna have somebody on my team always in this game, I feel like, that can do this, whether it be Barrett, her, etc. And she's gonna be there to Night Bloom, which is gonna give us the magic defense down and then physical defense down, along with healing, because I'm gonna need a lot of healing. And she also has the circle materia runera on because we need to break circle sigils. If you look at this character, not built out too crazy. We look at the sub equipment, just healing sub effects here, and then we also have one for HP. Guys, I've learned in this game, HP, boost magic defense. You need some defense on your characters to make sure they can live. Now, you need a lot of attack and, you know, power as well, but I'm always going to be looking to put one of these. That's why I always farm out these items like the new Sephiroth one. Just have it in your back pocket because they're going to be very good. I have water on here. That's only because it rolled really well. We have Blizzara. Again, I don't even use her for that, so in the stats are shitty, so I could change that around. And then we do have a circle sigil here. Not good stats, but has HP, has her living, because that's what she wants to do. And then she could break if we need to break the sigils. Moving on next, we have Cloud. Now, if you have Lucia built up and you have the new item or the new weapon that can break ice, resist down, that's probably what you want to put in this spot. For me, it was Cloud, though. Have Cloud built up the best I can. You know, I got lucky and got a few more copies of his lightning weapon here. But the big thing you guys want to get, if you do not have, and you have 3 days left in this event, so, like, again, manage what your expectations on what you can do here. If you don't have Lucia's new weapon, there's Ice Breach, and you get that from the Crisis dungeon. It costs like 1,000 of those tokens to get it. It's going to lower down the ice resist of the opponent, and I'm telling you guys, I use this to beat Ifrit, the harder difficulty, because you are going to want Hellfire for the strategy. This worked wonders for me in that fight. Ice Breach, you can do it as much damage with ice damage as I could against Ifrit, which is great. And then the rest of his build, Thundara Blow, is just there because I rolled this thing insane. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's freaking busted. And then down at the bottom, we do have another Circle Sigil, which is great. And then I think he has Blizzard Blow. Or no, he has Ice Breach, excuse me, because he's going to be our breaker. So, again, would be better if we had Lucia. Looking over at his other items, Lightning Potency, which, again, doesn't really work here, but it's fine. It works for what I want it to do. And then we have the HP item that we got from Zach's event. So, again, very good items. Always build those up, max them out when you can. Moving on to the next, Sephiroth is the big daddy damage dealer. And it's going to be a little bit of a twist you guys maybe haven't seen before. I am going to be using his fire weapon, Prototype Crimson Blade. The AoE fire helps me in a lot of situations, specifically the soldiers we're going to end up fighting because they're weak to it, and also against the soldiers when we fight Reno. It helps. I think he casts it once, I do believe, and then we cast Ifrit and they all die. The side pieces do. So it's actually worked out pretty well for me. So I've kept that on. I finally pulled an Ione or whatever it's called, Iona B. Okay, I suck at saying that name, but that's what I pulled. But yeah, so his build, we have Watera again, rolled very good stats. I've been rolling Wateras like you wouldn't believe. We have Fyra, again, just has some okay stats on it, a lot of HP. Not really going to be using that too much. We're going to be using his AoE fire ability. And then we have Runera Blow, which is physical. I am building a magic, but I don't really have a good magic circle sigil breaker. So I just threw this on here. Again, it has some high magic attack and HP. So you know what I mean? You just put on what you can. He has Shiva on. This is going to be very important too. You want Shiva maxed out to level 4. I have not beaten her very hard mode yet. That's my next step in my progression of my account. I want that bad boy to level 4. Looking at his sub equipment, we have 2 ice potencies up, and then I do have this on again just for the boost HP down here. This ice resist doesn't really help me, but I need that HP on him to make sure he can live. So that's going to be the squad we're going to take in, and now we're going to go through the run. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible, show you guys what you guys need to do. You can fast forward, rewind if you need to. Just pick up everything. I don't know if I end up using it all, but I do end up using an assortment of things. This one's very important, the Blizzard Cocktail and the Fire Cocktail. We will be using that. And again, I don't know if this will work for you guys, depending on where your account is, but you know, if you're pretty close, it might work out. First off, don't run this thing on auto ever. Don't ever run it on auto. You'll see why. People don't do the things you want them to do, right? So you're going to fight the bird boss. You have to fight the bird boss first. So we're going to fight this bird boss, and we're going to use Ice Breach immediately. So we're going to stay on Cloud here, and I'm going to do Ice Breach. Then I'm going to switch to Aerith, and I'm going to start doing my Night Bloom. So I'm going to apply the magic down, because Sephiroth is going to be the one doing the damage. And honestly, this Condor doesn't do much damage, and I sometimes can kill it. You can see how much Sephiroth is doing. I can sometimes kill it before it even gets its big damage-dealing move off. So the goal here is just to kill the Condor because we have to, and build up as much summon gauge as we can as we move through. So we got Fire Potency up. Cloud did end up casting that, and now we're looking towards the big ability that he's going to use. So because it's not on auto, you need to pay attention to this stuff if he ends up casting it. And turn on your defense just in case. Now, turn on my defense there, and I have to remember I need to turn it back on offense after this fight. But just be aware of that when you're not on auto, because some people out there have been autoing everything. If you want to maximize what you're doing, you got to make sure you pay attention to the gauge swift of being in defensive mode for healing or taking damage, and then offensive mode when you want to do damage. Let's see. So on this one, it's going to be crazy. We're taking the score boost 30%. We're putting down our physical attack 50%, so Cloud ain't going to be doing anything, and our magic is down 50%. But we're going to boost up our magic damage later to counteract that, and it's one of the reasons why, like, anybody can really be in Cloud's spot as long as they have a lot of HP defense, can do that Ice Break and a little bit of damage for you. So we're going to scoot on down here, and I'm going to skip to the next fight. Okay, so you're going to run into these, you're going to make your way down to the soldiers, and you're going to run into this random battle right here that you guys have to do. No big deal here, excuse me. You just want to make sure you're at high HP. You guys can do some tricks, some things to try to build up the gauge more. Like with Cloud, I really need him to be building up his gauge, so I'm going to switch to Sephiroth. I forgot. I need to switch off the defense, like I said earlier. And we're just going to do some auto attacks with Sephiroth to try to make sure Cloud can build up as much of his summon meter as we can, because we need it for the soldier fight to finish him off. So we're just going to let this play out a little bit. I'll cast this now, a little Fire Aga with his weapon. You know, lower him down a little bit. I don't want to be in here too long, but if you guys really need to build up this meter and you need to use it instantly at some point, this would be the way to do it, because Sephiroth is going to have his meter built up for when we fight Behemoth while we're fighting soldiers almost. So that's going to be the point of that. So that's the random battle. Now we're going to make our way down to the soldiers, the triple soldiers down the lane. All right, so we went down the stairs. There's no random battle except for when you go past the soldiers here, but don't do that yet. When you're here, you want to start using some of your items. So we're going to head in here, and we're going to use our Fire Cocktail on Sephiroth, because, again, I'm using his Fire AoE, and that's going to depend on your team, and on whoever you have Ifrit's AoE. You got to put that Fire Potency up. Soldiers that we're about to fight, these little troopers, weak to fire. So that's what we're going to be doing here. I'm going to immediately switch to my Sephiroth and make sure he's constantly casting his Fire Aga while I wait for Cloud's Ifrit to build up. So we're going to go ahead and switch over. Sephiroth here, we're going to make him cast this over and over and over again, because it's going to do a lot of damage, especially with that, look, see, with that Blizzard, that Fire Cocktail going on, we're doing some damage, and we're just waiting on Cloud to slowly get that, that gauge up, because as soon as Cloud gets his Ifrit gauge up, he's going to be good to go. Like, it's just going to kill everybody here. And honestly, they get this attack off sometimes, and I think they will. So again, I'm paying attention to that attack. It's about to go off, so I'm going to go ahead and put my defense on so I don't get too hurt by it. It's going to hurt a little bit, but it doesn't matter. We'll use items in between battle. As long as you're alive in the fight and you don't die, you'll be good. So we're going to switch here. Use Fire Aga again, and then we're going to have Ifrit up, and we're going to cast that bad boy. Here it comes, I think. Yep, we're going to cast Hellfire. We're not going to cast Whiteout. We're not going to cast our Shiva. Not worth it. You need to save that for Behemoth and the other fights. Kind of do this in the same order I'm doing it here if you guys can. So it'll pretty much kill everybody off. Maybe they have a couple of HP left, and then you're going to finish them off yourself with a little smackaroo. It helps build up maybe some limit bursts you didn't have, and there you go. The soldiers are dead. So there's an important part right here. You have to make sure you select the same rewards that I do in order to maximize your score and your damage that your magic damage dealers can do. Your physical damage dealers aren't going to do anything. I'm sorry to say, they're just not. So there we go. We defeated the soldiers second. Then we're going to take the magic attack B up 60% and magic defense up 60%, okay? And this is like the bug. This magic defense apparently is buffing your magic or something like that. We are going to lose some healing potency, okay? But that's all right. We're going to make it through. It'll be quite okay. So we're going to go up and fight Behemoth now, but before we do that, I want to make sure I use some items, right? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to make sure all of this is gone, because Behemoth can get a little bit dicey sometimes. I'm going to put a Blizzard Cocktail on Sephiroth. That's all I'm going to do with that. and then I'm going to head up the stairs. Now, I could go fight the soldiers. They do give you potions, the soldiers that we're going to come back and fight, the random battle that you can run into, the little baby soldiers. But I want to save them for building back up Limit Burst or Espers just in case, okay? So we're going to head in here. The first thing I'm going to do right off the rip is cast the Shiva ability, okay? I'm going to make sure you're targeting Behemoth, and then cast, so make sure it targets Behemoth, then cast the Shiva ability. You just want to get that off the rip. That way, when you're fighting him for the rest of the fight, you have a chance to build it up again, okay? So that's going to be important. You want to take this guy out as fast as possible. I'm going to switch over to Aerith, and I'm going to go ahead and start healing because we are a little hurt from that soldier fight. We didn't get all the way finished. I'm also going to target the crabs here for a second, just in case Sephiroth finished them off. It was fine. And now the aim of the game is to kill Behemoth while staying as healthy as possible. You cannot debuff him. Like, I'd be debuffing if I could. I can't. So I'm just going to keep healing. Aerith's a little low. I might end up having to use her LB. I don't want her to get hit again. We'll see how this works out. Behemoth's going to do some raging thing, but again, because we killed the soldiers, Sephiroth is doing a lot of damage for us right here, even though he doesn't have the other buffs. So again, we're watching this meter go down. We are going to have to hit we're going to put it on defense now, and then hopefully I can get this Kurag out before he does his attack. I couldn't, so it's going to be big. Body slam, but we have our defense up. We're fine. See, we lived. Everybody's kind of low, but it's okay. We'll do a little healy heal right here, and then Sephiroth's going to end up finishing off Behemoth. Now, if you end up getting to his thing where you have to break his sigil, that's why we have the circle sigils. It'll work, but, you know, in my case, my Sephiroth's a little too strong. Ends up beating him out anyway. So, bada bing, bada boom, now Behemoth is down. For this one, you can get a little crazy, okay? I didn't do this yet, and I'm not going to do this in the video because I want it to, you know, I want it to be successful. It takes a long time to record that. You can see how long it takes. I will go back in here eventually and take this score up because my healing potency is already so low, and you'll see in a lot of these fights, I just need a little healing to live, and it's more RNG you'll see at the end. But for me, I'm going to take the fog resist and the healing potency up. You could take this if you want to get a little spicy. I'm not going to do it, though. We're going to head over here. We're going to click this right here, which gives us that supplement up. We're going to head here. I'm going to go ahead and use a tent. We will get another tent, so don't worry about that too much. We're going to use a tent now, get everybody up to full health. And now, because we want to build Sephiroth and Cloud's limit breaks or their summons back up, we're going to go fight these soldiers, okay? And plus, you know, we just need to get everything built up as much as we can before we fight these last two bosses. So head over here. Now, you're not going to go fight this boss. This boss is an optional boss. Now, again, if you guys can't beat Reno, if you guys do this strategy and you can't beat Reno, go fight that boss. You could take it down, and then you still get a high score. You could increase your score even more. But for me, I'm going to try to take on Reno. So again, for this fight, we're just going to whoop its butt. So we're going to bang, bang, boom, boom. I think by the end of the next fight, I'll have all... You just need to make sure by the end of the... When you're about to go fight Reno or the last boss, if you fight the other one, you want to make sure that both your limit bursts are ready. I guess for the last boss, you don't really need clouds. But for Reno, you're definitely going to need clouds, okay? So you're going to get potions from this. And use them if you need to. We're not going to use them. I think you get another tent, too. So the tent is what we're going to use at the end of the fight. So we're going to run over here. And now we're going to go fight the Insect Queen. All right, so we're at the Insect Queen, but we want to maximize our items to the best that we can. So we're going to head in here. We're going to use these supplements. I mean, it's 2 and 3. But we're going to use a tent after we end up fighting the Insect Queen. So maximize the items that you have, man. Just use all these. Get everybody maxed out, right? We're going to go down here. We're going to put another Blizzard here. And then for the next fight, I'm going to use all of these on all of our people. Let's see. We can use some ethers to make sure everybody's got their ATB all the way up. You know, make sure everybody's maximizing. You know, you just want to do the best you can. You don't want to leave this fight. These items come back every time you run it, right? So you want to make sure you're using them. Insect Queen, pretty simple. Can get a little dicey here. But we're heading in. Now, there could be a different order that works better for you. This is the order that works for me. I'm going to always target the ads first and try to take them down. Use a little Ice Breach action. And then we're going to use Night Bloom. Sephiroth probably just one-shot that guy, so we kind of wasted the Night Bloom. I hate that it goes over there like that. I don't enjoy that very much. All right, we need to start healing, because again, our healing potency is pretty low. And we need to make sure Cloud is good to go. We're not going to use any of our limit bursts here, or our summons. We're going to focus mainly on just taking the boss down with normal stuff. You can see they're already getting hurt pretty badly. We just got to make sure we don't die. So I'm going to go ahead and use a circle here, sigil. Cloud's getting kind of low, and I could use Healing Wind if I want, but I want to save that for Reno. So I'm going to try to keep him alive. Ooh, he's getting really low. We got to be careful. Sephiroth will end this fight if we let him. There we go. Sephiroth kills the fight. Halfway through that webbing was happening. Again, for you, you may have to do these fights differently. My Sephiroth is just rolling because he had that magic attack up. He's really boosted high, and I put a lot into him. I've maxed out his board the best I can. So there we go. We took down the Insect Queen. Now for this one, which is kind of crazy, you can now choose to get 10% boost score and then put these down. Or you can go with this Fire Potency Outpost and make sure you get it done. I would honestly mix and match with them a little bit. You might even want to do this, but I'm worried about this because of the soldiers we have to fight, okay, on the side. If they buff attack, it's over for you. They have to die before they do that. I'm going to go with the score boost. I think I'm fine with that. So we're going to move over. We're going to go to Reno. Now, if you are worried, if you don't think you can take on Reno, and you want to redo it a couple times, go fight the last boss, get that score boost up, come back and do it again. Keep going through and doing what you can. So we're going to use a 10 here. We're going to use Blizzard Cocktail on everybody, all the way down. Right? We're going to use the fire cocktail all the way down. And then we're just going to make sure everybody's gauge is built all the way up. Just as much as possible, you know what I mean? Just make sure everybody's maxed out. And now we're going to go in this fight. It's important in this fight. Immediately we get a Ice Break on Reno. We get a Magic Break on Reno. And then we unleash both Limit Bursts, okay? It's going to be very fast. You just got to do it right. And then we got to get lucky that Reno doesn't target Sephiroth to kill him. So again, we're targeting Reno. We're going to go Ice Break. I need to be faster with this. We're going to use Night Bloom. Make sure that it applies. And then we're going to go with both of our Espers are going to be summoned. It's going to kill both the soldiers. You can see they're pretty low from Sephiroth already using his AoE fire move, which is why I think it's really strong in this specific fight. They're dead. Now we don't have double magic resist down, which we can make it lower with Aerith, but it's pretty good damage, and I just want to try to get down as low as possible. I'm going to keep applying this, looking at my healing if I need it. I'm going to save this in my back pocket. And I'm going to keep casting Night Bloom to try to keep that applied, keep his magic defense down, along with keeping his ice resist down. So he's about to do one of his big attacks. Going to switch over. Make sure you pay attention to this, because it zooms in on your characters, and sometimes you'll miss it. It'll zoom in on Aerith doing her healing, and then you'll miss that. So I need to go back to... Actually, I want to stay in defense mode to do this heal. I am going to do this big heal. Then I'm going to switch back to attack mode. And you need to pay attention. Do not miss him doing these big attacks. We'll apply this again. Here we go. Doing good. Now, Reno is going to do a big attack here in a little bit, if he lives that long. Yep, this flash foot. If he targets Sephiroth, we're probably going to lose. I'm just saying. So I'm going to switch back to this. He's about to do it. Again, when it zooms in on Aerith, sometimes you can miss it. Do not target Sephiroth. Cloud can take it. Cloud's got more defense than Sephiroth. He's good. So I think this means it's a win for us. Sometimes I get in here and it's still a loss. We'll see how we do. We don't have time to build up more Espers, so that's the sad part about it all. We're going to keep this defense down. Cloud, I'm sorry, buddy. You're just gonna keep getting beat, man. There's nothing else I can do about it. Then we keep the magic defense down. The ice breach is on. His ice resistance down. You want to make sure you apply that all the time. And boom, bada bing, you take down Reno. You do this strategy, and you're gonna have a high score. I thought about not posting this, because maybe some of the people in my bracket might use it against me, but I don't care, dude. As long as I'm top 100. Wait, no, I could be top 1,000 or whatever I said. Now, top 100 I'm fighting for, because now I know it's possible. But that's my strategy I use, guys. Again, mess around with it. Fight the other easy boss. Come up, try to fight Reno later. It is important that you've been farming Ifrit on co-op, and you get that maxed out. It says new record. I don't know what that's going to put me at. But it's important that you get Ifrit, and your summons are going to be so important going forward in this game. So now my next move is to get Shiva up, because it's so much damage. I could even do more damage if I had Shiva maxed out. Rank 42 there. 2.2. I mean, it's good, baby. It worked out. But make sure you guys, things you need to work on. Get Ice Breach, or hold off. Don't spend your Crisis Dungeon tokens just yet. Maybe wait for the next event. Maybe get Fire Breach, or, you know, I think what the other one is in there. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, use that to your advantage, and just do the best you can with the information. I hope you guys had fun. I'm having a ton of fun with this game. This event actually turned out awesome after I did all my farming on everything, and it worked out for me. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below with your strategy or what rank you are. If you need any help, I can try to help you out in the comments. Subscribe for future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.